Hi, I'm Danny, and these are my Diecast Disasters. In this video, I'm going to be restoring a Corgi number 420, the Ford Thames Airborne Caravan. These were produced from 1962 until 1966. I believe these were based off of the Ford Thames 400E van, which was made from 1957 until 1965. And as far as I can gather, Airborne Services were a company that did campervan conversions. So this is a two-tone green example. It's quite play-worn, the paint is fairly chipped, but other than that it's actually in quite good condition. Most of the interior's in there. The blinds are all in great condition. The wheels are in good condition, the tyres are a little bit aged, but they're still fine. This particular one has some black detailing on it, but I haven't seen that on any of the original models that I've looked at online. I wonder if somebody's done that themselves. As you can see, the table is still in the interior, but the seat seems to be missing. I start by drilling out the rivets and taking the car apart. Before I strip the paint off of the casting, I do my best to match the colours. I paint on a thin layer of poly stripper. After a few minutes the paint is wrinkled and can be easily washed off with some water. Using a wire brush on my rotary tool, I clean up the castings, removing any remaining paint and oxidation. Here it is cleaned up. I now give it a coat of primer. And it is painted with the light green paint. The top of the casting is masked off. And then the lower half is painted with the darker green. I then detail the van with silver paint. I'm not going to detail any of it black because I just can't find any pictures of one with black detailing. Moving on to the base, I just remove the wheels and axles. I then stripped the paint and painted it in a light grey. The rims were in pretty good condition but a little bit dirty, so I used a damp cotton bud to give them a clean. Taking a look at the plastic parts, they're in pretty good condition. You can see the windscreen is just a little bit scuffed. It's got a tiny crack in the front of it. Other than that, it's pretty good. Likewise, the interior is in great condition apart from the missing seat. It's definitely a lot more sturdy than some of the other Corgi interiors I've looked at. And the blinds are great apart from being a little bit dirty. These are very delicate and flimsy, so I'm surprised they haven't been broken at some point over the years. I begin by giving them all a wash in some warm soapy water. Here they are looking a lot cleaner. And here's a little replacement seat that I've made out of styrene. To tidy up the windscreen, I start by giving it a light sand with some 1200 grit sandpaper. This will remove most of the light scratches and scuffs. I then give it a good polish. So here are all of our parts tidied up, repainted and ready to go back together. As you can see, the windscreen is looking a lot clearer and shinier. And I've painted the little seat the same colour as the table. To reassemble the car, I start by putting the wheels and axles back into the base. The blinds are carefully clipped back into the windscreen. The windscreen is positioned back inside the body. I use a tiny drop of glue to stick the seat back onto the interior. This way, if I ever find out what was really supposed to be there or get a replacement part, I could easily remove this seat. The doors are fitted back in. And lastly, the base is replaced. Now, I haven't drilled and tapped these rivet posts as I thought they were just too delicate. So I've used a small amount of glue and made some faux rivets out of epoxy putty. Before we take a look at our finished, restored Thames camper van, let's take a moment to look back and be reminded of what we started with. A fairly worn out looking little two-tone green camper van. With its patchy old paint job and rough looking windows, this little diecast disaster wouldn't be the ideal thing to want to go for a holiday in. And here it is, our finished Corgi number 420, the Ford Thames Airborne camper van. It's now looking much more worthy of going on a road trip with its nice new clean paint job, clear windows, shiny rims and a tidied up interior. The missing seat has also been replaced, so who's ever in the back has somewhere nice to sit down. This has been another fun restoration on a really cool toy. I really do like these Corgi castings. Maybe some of you had this toy when you were kids, or even went for holidays in a real Thames camper van. It would be great to hear about it in the comments. So while we take a look at some more images of the car parked up by the coast, I'll take a moment to welcome all of my new subscribers and say a massive thanks to everyone for the awesome comments and likes on my videos. Thanks everyone. As always, a massive extra thanks to my awesome Patreon supporters. They help the channel out with a small monthly donation. If you'd like to help out as well, you can check out my Patreon page. There'll be a link in the description below. Thanks heaps for watching. If you enjoy this video, please like, share and subscribe.